r/AskReddit. Adult children of helicopter parents. How do you deal with them now? Honestly, me and my husband are trying to figure this out. My Mill is a total helicopter parent. If one of us, me, my husband, or his brother, doesn't respond to her messages within an hour or two, she'll bombard the other two about where we are / if something happened to us. She freaked out on me when I didn't respond to her after 3 hours. We were doing a cross-country drive and accused me of trying to shut her out and said we are never going to be a real family because of the walls I've built up around myself. I don't know what to do. My husband won't stand up to her as much as I want him to, but I can't do this for the rest of my life. We have to establish some boundaries, but it's not my mom, so I can't be the one to initiate. 1. Bombarding the others. If you don't respond, they can always block her temporarily. Not your problem. 2. Freak out at you. You hang up the phone. Her emotions? Not your problem. 3. Accuses you of trying to shut her out. Well, you can think that if you like. Not your problem. 4. Accuses you of putting up walls. The physicist Richard Feynman had a universal answer to cranks. There may be something in what you say. Not your problem. If your husband agrees with her, that's your problem. Make sure that, whenever you meet her in person, you're somewhere that you can just leave without needing anyone else's cooperation, including your husband and brother-in-law. Either she'll get over it, or she'll die mad. Regardless, not your problem. My parents weren't, but a friend moved to a different state and got engaged, and my friend's mom still managed to be a helicopter parent, visiting at least 3 times a month and contacting either her or her so constantly. It ruined the engagement because the so finally had enough, because even though my friend was annoyed with her mom as well, she couldn't cut her mom off completely. I DK all the details, but it must have been super annoying if someone was like, I love you, but F having in-laws like this. She is now single and has moved back home. It's unfortunate. I used to have a friend exactly like this. Her family was religious and abusive and hated her boyfriend because he was an atheist who smoked pot. Her dad punched him in the face once and she left home but couldn't cut contact. I was friends with them both and it sucked because you literally had to pretend he didn't exist when we were at her family's house. She was a chef and eventually her family was like, surprise, we secretly built you a restaurant next to our house. She accepted and moved back home. They obviously broke up and then she went bonkers and told me I had to choose between them because I couldn't be friends with both. I chose the one who didn't give me an ultimatum. I ignore them. To be honest, it's also because I'm in a different city and have a hectic job. But there was also a period of slowly getting them used to the fact that they would not know and control every detail of my adult life. I don't know if I'm quite an adult because I'm 19 and still in college, and does that really count? But yeah, I just ignore them. They say do this, I say okay, and then do whatever the F I want. They gotta drive 13 hours to get to me. They ain't paying for a plane flight. What are they gonna do? Call me? I can just not answer it. They said share your location with us, and I said no, and it was amazing. They said give me your password so we can check your grades, and I was like no can't, it's location based, whoops sorry, it's not. They say don't go out, and I just tell them I'm not going to frat parties. Meanwhile I'm going like 3 hours away for 2 nights for a weekend trip with a whole frat. I tell them I wake up at 9 every day and go to sleep at 11:30, that I eat 3 times a day. I have 4 friends that they trust that I always say I'm hanging out with. I have a separate Insta account that they can follow so they don't see what I'm doing. I pay for my own subscriptions so they can't see what I have. I have my own credit card so they can't police what I buy. I don't tell them when it's time to register for classes so they can't tell me what to sign up for. Made that mistake last semester. I don't tell them what finals I have when, so they can't police my studying every hour. I've got 4 cream sodas in my fridge right now. My mom would flip if she found out I drink soda. So basically ignore them and hide things, I guess. Probably not the best habits, but you know what, I'm enjoying being able to step outside for a moment without being asked where are you going. or being able to talk about someone I ain't next to without being asked about their family and their grades. Went for a walk on campus at 6 yesterday, on my own. No one yelled at me for it. Edit. They are not cut off y'all. I still communicate with them, but I just hide a lot, so they think my college existence is the exact same as my high school existence. And I also don't answer every single call/text from them immediately lol. But I call home and say hi on weekends and keep them somewhat updated on what I'm doing. Edit 2.0. And no, I'm not fully financially independent yet. Working on it. I'm paying for half of college. I'm high-key too scared to try and discuss boundaries while they can still hold half of my tuition over my head. The way that I got my mom to chill out on me was to tell her that I wanted to go to a college out of state. That was the moment she realized she wasn't going to be protective of me forever, and it took her a long time to accept it. As of now, she's been a little easier on me, though she still sometimes treats me like a child. If I'm out of state, then I just limit contact with her and don't call home often. I think a lack of contact is the best everyone with helicopter parents can do initially, because it's just so refreshing to be by yourself with nobody breathing on your neck after so long. Limiting contact with my mother worked for me as well. When I was in middle school, my friends asked if I wanted to join them, but I had to stay home because of her migraine, etc, etc, etc. Because my parents are divorced, I moved to my father, then later moved about town. Somewhat cutting contact made her worry, and she stays on the phone for hours if I don't stop her when we talk, but it did get a lot better. Edit. She did, and still does suffer from migraines. However, in retrospect, it was always migraines when I asked to leave to go with friends. Seconded. My mom mellowed out so much after I left, it's like she's a different person. I didn't contact her much at all. I used my dad to pass along information, and I also told him the fun stuff as we have a great relationship, and I think once she realized I was way happier and way, well, better without her breathing down my damn neck, everything worked itself out. She still can irritate the F out of me when she treats me like a kid, but she's gotten way better. I had to be extremely mean and blunt with my mom. I'm a mid-30s married man and had to straight up tell her that I have a family in my own life and she needs to go get a hobby or take classes or anything whatsoever that will give her a sense of value, because I do not need a damn interfering invasive mother any longer. When she started giving me either the "that's so horrible you talk to your mother that way" or the "oh no, my kids don't need me anymore," I literally flat out had to just say, "I don't give a crap, mom. Go work it out." I had to be super mean to her about it. Sometimes parents have to cut their children off, and sometimes children have to cut their parents off. Doesn't make me feel good, but I sleep fine. I feel yeah. I moved back in with my parents in November. I'm 26, and when I moved back in, I explained to my mom that I usually go out with my friends 2 to 3 times per week, and I enjoy being out of the house a lot. Still, when I come back home, I get several questions about where I was and who I was with, what I was doing, etc. It drives me insane, and I have to straight up tell her to stop questioning me. I feel bad about being so short with her, but I don't have much privacy there. Just before I moved out, my mum tried having an argument with me about how we don't talk anymore, we don't know what's going on with you, that kind of crap. I had to straight up tell her we've never been the type of family to hug each other and all get along. We've never talked, and that's not going to magically change now. I speak to my parents now once every few months, just so they know I don't outright hate them. I'm low contact. A lot of us go low or no contact. My older brother and I both moved out as soon as we turned 18. He moved to the opposite side of the country. I moved 3 states away. He still keeps low contact and is still on the East Coast. I came back home when I became homeless at 25 and noticed that while we were gone, my mother, the helicopter, had done a lot of soul searching and realized that her controlling nature pushed her kids away. She's been in Codependence Anonymous for almost 8 years now, and I'm happy to say for the first time in my life I enjoy spending time with my mom. Took a bit, but I was able to transition out of low contact. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.